Peace, family. Peace. I have something very vital to share, very important, and it's just a beautiful Friday here, November. Um, what comes to my attention that gotta share this, when you get those impulses, you know what you're getting. So we're gonna be talking about forgiveness, y'all, and wow, this bird just landed on my car. We're gonna be talking about forgiveness, y'all, and it's not gonna be from the space of religious dogma. Typically in the spaces, on the digital spaces, individuals like to focus on the reorganizations of some spiritual texts to almost pardon individuals who have done things that are what someone would call unforgivable. You feel me? And by no way am I trying to make this video about the entire collective. This is about you. And I was having a conversation with someone. I'm gonna reference her as auntie, because that's what I'm gonna reference her as. And I was talking to this auntie. She was letting me know about a very sensitive area in her personal relationship. Stick with me because this is very vital. And that was one of the first times in a long time that I got to observe someone else living from unforgiveness, like really harboring something. And it just brought it to such a clarity why we are taught to forgive, or what forgiveness really is. Who does it affect, and why do we even choose to promote it? Why do we even do that? And with her in a relationship with her partner, she's been let down several times, and she's found it hard to continue to trust this person based on what they've been showing, all that kind of stuff, right? And I didn't give her advice about what to do, because that wasn't the space in which I was called on. The space I was called on was for her to find a release and releasing of those memories. Why? Because very much like a computer, you can only have so many programs running at the same time. You can have Microsoft, Google Chrome, PowerPoint, Word, all of that kind of things. But the more and more and more and more you open up new programs and files without closing old ones, you deny yourself your true processing power, your true capability, because you got a lot of things that you're organizing your mind around that are about 10 years old, 5 years old, 2 years old, yesterday's old. You know what I'm saying? And so it really brought forgiveness into my front. I was looking at it so close because I saw what happens when we choose to not. You know what I mean? I saw what happens when we choose not to. So the purpose for forgiveness is not about the other person. Very often, you might see that in the process of forgiveness, you might rekindle with other people. But the first form and focus that I would like to bring to this conversation is forgiveness is not about people. It's not about other people. It's wholly about you and your ability to commune with God within you. And the reason why I'm seeing it so clearly is because you can't have two feelings occupying the same space at the same time. It's not something that we can do unless they're like feelings. You can watch my video on the 3 mind series where I illustrate the first mind, which is the brain, in context. Now, people like to align the brain and the mind, but really the brain is one of the minds we have. We also have an emotional mind, the heart. Then we have an action mind, the gut or the will. And when you have an imbalance in the space of forgiveness, it corresponds with these two right here, the heart and the mind. Because the heart is holding on to an emotional timestamp of some type of emotion that was unpleasurable or displeasing. And then as soon as that is felt, the mind is sent back to that time to reanalyze all of those circumstances and all of those situations. So you cannot actually have a feeling of anger and a feeling of joy or gladness at the same time. It's like holding something hot in your hand and trying to add something cold. You can try to feel both, but one of them is going to dominate. And typically what ends up happening is the domination happens with the one that you need to let go the most. Why I say this is because if you are focus your mind on past events, things that has already happened, things that have already taken place, how much attention can you give to the things that are taking place right now? How much attention can you give to things that God is doing with you, through you, as you? Now, if you're focusing on all the things that happened in the back. What I notice is that when we don't have forgiveness for certain people, we somewhat hold them in a holding cell. And this holding cell is marked by the things that we remember, the things that they did, or the things that they said they would do and didn't do. However it is, we would feel like they are being given what they deserve by, having this emotion for them, right? Nah, I deserve to feel like this. Yeah, you deserve to feel like that. You deserve to transmute those feelings too, so that you can find new feelings, because you can't have the old plus some new. It just doesn't work. So what I started noticing is that we think that these people are in the holding cell, but they are in the holding cell, and we're the ones holding them. So because we're holding them, we cannot move forward, neither can they. It would seem like it's, I need to get mine, or somebody need to tell me that they sorry, somebody got to apologize to me, and, in certain cases, you might personally, from the personhood, you might appreciate that. You might appreciate that fact that this person can recollect and see, mistakes in their own actions. Not all people are really able to do that, because they hide themselves looking for other people. They hide themselves trying to find approval from other people. They hide from themselves, if I should say it better. So to really forgive is really about letting people go from that holding cell of experience, so that you can be free. Because nobody's going to watch the prison doors but you. You use it with your memory. So when I talk about overstanding the self, it has a lot to do with the things that we physically experience, the things that people do to us, and the things that we do to others, unbeknownst to ourselves. And this is a great segue for one of the scriptures from the Black Book, the Holy Bible, that says, in the Lord's Prayer, forgive our trespasses as you forgive those who trespassed against us. And that's just another bridge to let us understand what happens when we let go. First we ask for forgiveness, and if I offended you, I apologize for offending you. And in the same exact way, that forgiveness is sent to those who've trespassed against me. But you can't hold somebody in jail and think you're going to be free. You just can't, because you're not free emotionally. You understand? So, when I was talking to her, and to bring it back to the story, when I was talking to her, and I was suggesting to her to observe the way that she was feeling corresponding with these 3-year-old events. And she was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to be able to let that go. And those are the words she said, man. And it just told me, like, we can lock ourselves up in a lot, but there's nothing else worse than not knowing that we hold the key to the lock. You know what I'm saying? Because people like to, have a balance to everything. So it's like, well, if you did this, then you better do that to fix it. And a lot of times that's fair. A lot of times it's true. A lot of times it's healthy too. But in the cases where those people are avoidant or arrogant or ignorant to the fact, we lose a lot of energy trying to get that person to pay us back. This is why they say vengeance is the Lord's. The Lord is your higher self, and when you're allowed to commune within yourself in consciousness, to offer love to a place where wrong was done, or to offer love in a place where hatred is found, you set yourself free from that actual hatred, and you leave it with the fragrance of love that you will smell in your next experience, in your next relationship. I'm going to end the video with this. When we choose not to forgive, we choose to relive the actions that require forgiveness. And that's really what it is. When we choose not to forgive, we choose to relive those experiences, those emotions. And they take precedence over our day-to-day, even though it was 30 days, even though it was 60 days, even though it was 180 days ago. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing worse than having a glorious moment and not being able to see the glory in it because you focus backwards. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm putting this a lot of different ways because I know how the mind is likes to hear, so that the heart can be clear knowing that, okay, I know why I'm doing this. Now, if you want to know how to move about, you know, kind of releasing some of these old energies, you know, maybe you have something to talk to your mother about, father, sister, brother, uncle. Maybe it's one of your aunties. Um, Sometimes they're not here on the earth with us. And sometimes they've already journeyed onward to the next space, and you can still communicate with them through the act of prayer, through the act of journaling, through the act of ceremonies, forgiveness ceremonies. I know we about to start having some at my house. We about to start having some forgiveness ceremonies. If y'all want to check out that video, I posted a video a couple of days ago in this month of November. How do you know you're really healed? And in that video, I talk about a step-by-step process that I use for myself to kind of allow for old emotions to move and to give them movement, because emotion is energy in motion. And if the energy is not in motion, it's stagnating. And if the energy that is not in motion is not moving in you, then it is stagnating you in the past of whatever that time frame happened for that experience. And if you really want to be free, it's the truth that'll set you free. And the truth is, all is God, and God is all. So, God is in all. So you do yourself a favor forgiving another person, because you set yourself free. Because there's only one self in us. That's the light in you, the light in me. But yeah, so with that being said, that's forgiveness, y'all. That's forgiveness. I would like to also add this. To treat others the way you want to be treated is the only way to live, because when you know that you are the other, how would you treat yourself? To forgive. I'll talk to y'all later. Hey, whole time, one with God. Peace.